I'm back from Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, where this, of course, was announced, the Honor Magic 5 Pro, and I'm super excited to check it out and give you a preview of it and my first impressions in this video. So this mobile here has a 6.81-inch screen, 120 Hertz, pretty standard nowadays, right? However, it's got the industry's highest dimming on it. So it's a rate of 2160 Hertz for the pulse width modulation. And that translates into a screen that is super solid. You do not see any flicker with it at all. It's got a 5100 milliamp hour battery, all powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It has UFS 4.0 storage, 3D face unlocking, so way more secure than 2D face unlocking, and Honor's Star Wheel triple camera design, which consists of three 50 megapixel cameras, a optical zoom periscopic camera, 3.5 times zoom, main camera and ultra wide, and it does have AI motion sensing, which can take some really cool photos of, for example, sports action like that in a split second, because the AI is monitoring that and it will take those photos before you can even react and take it yourself. So we do get with the phone a clear TPU case, some trade tools, some paperwork, the cable, which is Type A to Type C, and Honor's Supercharge. Now this is 66 watts, and of course, when my full review comes, I'll let you know the battery life and the exact charging time I'm able to get. So this is a 6.81-inch phone, and it has an extremely good build quality to it. The finish is superb, just like the Magic VS. Really top-notch hardware here. So the screen, they call it their quad-curved floating screen, and it's 120 Hertz, and I'll get into it in a little bit more detail and go over some of the features of it. But because of the curve down the bottom and the top, and then left and right, when you're holding it, it feels very nice in hand. There are no sharp edges anywhere. Metal frame around the outside. The volume and power buttons here are in a perfect location on that right-hand side. So very easy for me to access those. I don't feel like it's too low or too high. It seems to be pretty much spot on there. So well done with the design of that, because a lot of manufacturers actually get that wrong, which is hard to believe. So Type-C port here with video out support. SIM tray takes 2 nano SIMs, microphone, antenna lines, loudspeaker, one of 2, because there is another right here at the top, and we do have an IR transmitter, another microphone there. So the metal frame is all around the outside, and it just gives it a very premium, nice feel to this phone. As for the weight and size of it, well, it's 119 grams, pretty standard for a phone that has a metal frame on it, and of course packing a 5100 milliamp hour battery within it. The thickness, so measuring here, that is going to be 8.77 millimeters. Again, that's pretty standard for these types of flagship phones. So these rear cameras, they have it set up with this, what they call a Star Wheel triple camera design. They're all 50 megapixels. So we have a periscopic 3.5 times optical zoom camera. Then we have the main camera, which is 50 megapixels, and of course the ultra wide. So they're all the same megapixel count here. Now they've based this, the concept, the design of this here is the Eye of Muse design. And then the curvature to them, they say, is a tribute to Gaudi. Now Gaudi's very famous in Barcelona for a lot of his designs. That's very fitting considering this was launched at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. Now this phone has an absolute stunner of a screen, so 6.81 inches LTPO. It's got the quad curvature to it that I mentioned before, and it looks really good. Now, one of the best things about it, for me at least, and something I talk about a lot in my reviews, is pulse width modulation and the flicker you can often get with these displays. Well, because it is running a very high 2160 Hertz pulse width modulation, I don't see any flicker with this at all. So just having a look at one of my reviews here, it happens to be, of course, the Honor Magic VS. Check the channel for that too. By the way, if you're interested, there's no flicker. And at all angles, I don't see it shimmering or flickering at all. Now, the brightness on this screen is crazy. In its HDR 10 Plus mode, it can peak at 1800 nits. And you're looking at a resolution here of 1312 by 2848 pixels, which does give us a PPI of 661. So it is extremely sharp. Gestures are working really well, and 120 hertz. So it is super fast, smooth, and fluid. And for you spec junkies out there, well, it pretty much covers all bases. Within this, we have a 5,100 milliamp hour battery. It does have 50 watt wireless charging along with the 66 wired charging, all powered, of course, by that new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It does have the faster RAM, and we get UFS 4.0 support with it. So there's a lot of tech packed into this. And not only that, of course, we've got that 3D face recognition, the unlocking. It's even got a AI privacy call mode, the fingerprint sensor. It's got a lot in here, including Wi-Fi 7. If you happen to have, of course, a Wi-Fi 7 router, then it will work with the Honor Magic 5 Pro. As for the software, it is based on Magic OS 7.1. Now, Honor did announce that they will give us 3 major Android updates and up to 5 years of security patches for the phone, which is great. And it is coming out with Android 13, which that Magic OS 7.1 is based off. Honor's Magic 5 Pro is looking very impressive indeed, and I can't wait to really get more into depth with this with you, which will be up and coming in my final review of this Magic 5 Pro. So the camera setup on the rear is looking very promising. The screen is probably one of the best, if not the best, that I've used and tested out. Now, I'm someone that is a little sensitive, I won't say I'm the worst out there, to the flicker you sometimes get with pulse width modulation from these LTPO, the OLED or AMOLED screens, but because it is 2160 Hertz, I'm not seeing any flicker whatsoever. It looks very steady to my eyes, and there's even a lot of other features in there too, health related, to lower and reduce the blue light, and the flicker free thing is the best one for me too, this phone. Now, it's powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Performance so far, first impressions, I can tell you now, is very good. It's extremely quick, smooth with the 120 hertz. Battery life, of course, that's going to be covered, those charge times, more on those cameras, all of that good stuff will be up and coming. So make sure you do subscribe and stay tuned for my final full review of this very promising indeed phone, the Honor Magic 5 Pro.